Welcome. Good evening. Hello. Happy Wednesday. Thank you guys for coming on our July monthly meeting. Thank you guys for remembering. We pushed it back a week, so thank you guys so much. Usually first Wednesday of the month, but America. So we have it now. So thank you guys. Welcome. My name is Alexa, COO here at BPM RIA. That is Broward, Palm Beach, Miami-Dade Real Estate Investors Association, your only local chapter here in South Florida that is approved and in compliance with the National RIA. We're super excited to have you guys on for our monthly meeting tonight. We have Zachary Beach in the virtual building. He's going to introduce himself in just a moment, but we did have him for that Real Estate Super Saturday event that we had a few months ago, last April. Gosh, I don't know, sometime this year. I know that for a fact. Gosh, I hope. So you guys, we love Zachary. He came down to South Florida a few months ago. Gosh, the time is flying. And then we're gonna have him back. He's just so awesome. So you guys keep up with the upcoming events. I'll tell you guys how to do that, but we're gonna have him back tonight. He's gonna discuss the 3 secrets to creating 3 paydays per deal without cash credit or banks. We love his style. We love him. So we're going to get into that in just a moment. But just to start us off on a high note, somebody in here will win a free membership to BPM RIA tonight. If you're interested in the raffle, all you need to do is text the word membership to 954-800-6961. So go ahead and text that word to that number that you see on the screen. I put the details in the chat for you guys as well. A lot of you guys are popping in right now, so I'll pop it in the chat again. Go enter the raffle if you're interested in winning a free membership. You can be a current member and win the membership. It's completely random, so you guys, so go enter the raffle right now, and I will announce the winner at the very end. Woo woo. Good luck. All right, upcoming events at BPM RIA. You guys, we have a ton of upcoming events. I invite you to the website. Go get registered. I'm pretty sure, yeah, every single one of these events that I have on the screen right now, they are all free 99. So get registered. There's limited seating for the in-person workshop. So you want to get your name down on the list. Make sure that you're going and that you're attending, or else you will be taking somebody else's seat. So go to the website, bpmria.com. All of these events are posted to the website right now. We're coming to Miami-Dade County. We're coming to Broward County. We're coming to Palm Beach County, guys. We're coming to a town near you. So please make it out. They're all free raffles. There's going to be a raffle at this one too, but we'd love to meet you in person. And you guys were asking for that subject to webinar. So here we go. We're doing it. We're going to talk about that tonight. But you guys, plenty of options. So get registered and we'll see you guys there. My favorite way to keep up with events, you guys know it, it's via text. So easy, so convenient. If you're on the text list, you got the registration link sent to your phone this morning. Little reminder, so easy. So if you want those text updates, go ahead and text BPM REIA, all one word, no spaces, to our event line here, 954-800-6961. Guys, just a reminder, don't call this number. There's no person attached to this number. This is just for you guys to get those text updates, raffles, all that good stuff via text. So just a little side note. All right, you guys, our quick start, it's coming around the corner. I'm so excited. It is a great time. 2 full days with our CEO and lead mentor, Anish Dave. This is a live training via Zoom. We offer member pricing, non-member pricing. There is a money back guarantee attached to this training. We're going to discuss wholesaling, flipping, and rehabbing, 4 guest speakers. A great time, you guys. You're going to get a PDF booklet to keep for life. And I went ahead and put the link in the chat so you guys can see the different topics we cover, the speakers that are on this training, all the business owners, all the things that you guys are looking for. Go ahead and click the link in the chat to get more info. You guys, members, as you know, you get all the goodies. You get the National RIA benefit package, those discounts to Home Depot, which you probably got an email from Home Depot confirming that you are a member still. So don't be alarmed. You'll probably just need to renew your membership or get that sorted out with me. So please get in touch with me. I'll be sure to email every single one of you by the end of today's class. But To get those members benefits, you must be an active member. You also get in free for our 4 quarterly networking meetings per year. Your guests come in for half price, $10. And of course, you get those special pricing for any workshop that we do charge for. So go get your memberships before the next quarterly meeting. Don't wait until the day before. I will be at Nova very early to be sitting up for you guys. So last but very not least, coaching and mentoring at BPM RIA. Some of you may know that we offer one-on-one coaching and mentoring. Some of you may not. You can go ahead and book that discovery call with me. Go to the website, bpmria.com, click that book a discovery call button. I will be more than happy to give you all the details regarding the coaching program, the brochure, breakdown of what's included, pricing, and during this call, I'll be more than happy to schedule that 1 hour free conversation with a mentor so you can get all your questions answered, and we can help you out and see if you're a good fit for our programs here that we offer. So you guys, we have the third-party funding available. If you're interested in funding your education, all you need to do is scan the QR code. You'll go ahead and fill out the application. What you need is a minimum 620 credit score, $35,000 verifiable income. It is a soft credit pull, and you will get the same day response. You guys will probably get the response by tomorrow morning if you do this tonight. This is going to be same day response during business hours. So just keep that in mind. They'll probably get back to you within an hour if you do this during business hours. So scan the QR code, keep this in your back pocket if you need it to fund your education or fund and invest yourself. That'll be there for you guys. I'll send that to you in an email as well. Thank you guys so much for giving me the opportunity to let you know what's going on here at BPM RIA. I always want to take a moment to thank National RIA, most importantly, but all of our vendor partners. You guys are amazing. You guys help us have all the amazing events that we do have. That reason why we can have so many free events is because of our incredible vendor partners and our members. You guys, thank you guys for so much for coming in tonight. I know it's, a week after than usual. They're still, 4th of July mode. It's all good. We are back to business here at BPM RIA. Super hyped to have Zach back. Speaking of Zach, you guys, I just want to tell you guys to please put your questions in the Q&A box. There's a Q&A box in the Zoom menu somewhere on your screen. For me, is down at the bottom. So put your questions in a Q&A box so we don't miss them. We are recording tonight's session, but you want to stay on until the very end, so you get to hear your questions being answered by Zach live. You also want to hear, if you're a winner, all the good stuff. So stick on until the end. Q&A box. I'll be chatting with you guys in the chat. We had Zach in person, and I know his energy is up here. So, we're all going to be having Zach for the first time in a webinar version. So you guys put the seatbelts on, get your waters ready, lock in, and let's just do this thing, because I just want to give you a forewarning. Zach doesn't miss a beat. He is from up north, so he gets it and he's ready to rock. I already know it. I have goosebumps. I'm so excited. Zach, please tell us what's going on tonight. Tell us what the secrets are.
I love it. Love it. Thank you. Thank you, Alexa. And your RIA is absolutely amazing. We're already planning on scheduling me to come down there sometime next year. So yeah, definitely keep keep looking for these upcoming schedule events. So thank you, each and every one of you, for coming. I know it is a Wednesday night in the middle of the summer. The last thing you want to be doing is probably learning about your real estate education, but it is the most important thing. And the things that I'm going to teach you today, creative financing deals, and exiting on a strategy that nobody else is doing it the way in which we're doing it. The market is so primed for this that I'm so glad you decided to show up and participate tonight, because we're going to be able to get all your questions answered. We're going to do a whole bunch of amazing things in a very short period of time. Again, I'm Zach Beats. I'm the CEO of Smart Real Estate Coach. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here in just a second. But just to give you some disclosures, right? I am from Massachusetts, so I am going to talk fast. Good news for you, because we are going to cover a lot in a very short period of time, so that way I can have you guys back out into sunny, sunshine Florida, where everyone from New England goes down there. But we like to see you guys in the winter. If you could go ahead and just type in the chat, Tell me if you first and foremost saw me at the previous event that was in January. Did anybody else attend the event where I got to speak with you live in January? Besides you, Alexa, I appreciate the jump on that as well. Anybody else? January? I said April. Yes. Yeah, let me know, because we're going to absolutely expand upon what we're talking about right now. This is good. I'm a New Yorker, so we're going to talk fast. I love it. It's New Yorkers and Boston people. We're pretty much the same thing. We just come from different areas, and we root for, Massachusetts root for better teams. So we'll go and get started. Another disclosure: I'm not going to be able to teach you absolutely everything about creative financing in the next, say, 45 minutes. What I can do is I really intend to change your perspective on how you are currently doing real estate deals, and how to either add this to your current portfolio, or maybe make a drastic change on how you're doing business right now, especially because of all of the current factors in this market. And I don't care that you're down in Florida. I'm telling you, there are deals that we are doing with little to no money down, without personally guaranteeing debt, and without going to banks. I promise you that consistently. And at the end, I do have an amazing opportunity for you to either, number one, get a whole bunch of free stuff, or two, to be able to work with us directly when we talk about these creative financing deals. If you could too, I just would love if you could type in the chat, because I promise you, I know it seems like TV, but I can still see your name. And if you're active, could you just type in the chat, are you currently involved in real estate? And if so, which strategies? If you wouldn't mind just typing that in here. And while you go ahead and do that, I'm just going to play you a short video so you can get to know who we are. See, now you know I'm from Massachusetts because you saw Wicked Smart. So I promise you, each and every one of you will be wicked smart by the end of this, whether you would like to or not. So everything we're going to talk about here is the exact strategies we use with our community and have been doing for the past 10 plus years. And I'll explain how we drive these strategies here in just a moment, all across the country in 80 plus markets. So by sticking around here today, we're going to make sure that you definitely get some free gifts. So make sure you stay all the way to the end, which include our first Amazon best-selling book, which goes over all of these strategies. That was even updated after COVID. We're going to give you some seller scripts. We're also going to get you live seller calls with us, actually communicating with sellers and closing these types of deals, all the lead generation tools that we use, in 7 specific steps in order to help you acquire more real estate deals. I did see that we have a whole bunch of different strategies here. We got new to investing, all the way to buy and hold, to agent investor, wholesale, and fix and flip. The beautiful thing about all of those is that you can add each and every one of these strategies that I'm going to share with you to those current exit strategies, or to be able to buy more efficiently. So when I talk about today's strategies, they're really for each and every one of you that's sitting on this call. So those of you interested in supplemental income, I mean, like, you actually like your job and you just want to increase the amount of income in which you make on a monthly basis, right? We have engineers, doctors, attorneys that are currently involved in our community doing these types of deals. Then, of course, you have replacement income. How many of you in here would like to leave your W-2 job in order to be a full-time real estate investor? It's a little bit of an open-ended question. Feel free to answer if you'd like. If you have your colleagues on here, you might not want to do so. But we help people consistently every single year go ahead and leave their job because of the way in which we are exiting these deals. And then, of course, your IRA or Coverdell. I'm going to share with you some real estate deals that we did in the multifamily space in which we utilized an IRA in order to invest. So if you accumulate enough income right now, and I know we had an amazing person I still get connected with who runs Gamma Plan, they can show you how to go ahead and do that. I know he's a sponsor for this RIA as well. And if you're interested in purchasing your own home, look, I was somebody who was transitioning from bartender and personal trainer to real estate investor. And the amazing thing was that I could actually qualify for more of a bank loan as a bartender than I could as a real estate investor. So I needed to utilize some of these strategies because I had limited resources when it came to actually purchasing a property. But I can tell you, it was one of the best experiences I've ever had being denied from a bank. And that was because I utilized these creative strategies here, was able to purchase a great property. You're looking at it on the water in Rhode Island with $2,500 down. Now, if you had to go utilize a traditional bank loan, you would have at least put down 10%, which would have been around $52,000, and the interest rate was much higher than what I was utilizing from the current seller as well. So I'm just curious. Type in the chat. Are you a 1, 2, 3, or 4 with today's strategies here today? So do you want to get supplemental income? Do you want to get replacement income? Are you interested in utilizing your IRA or Coverdell or your own home? Just go ahead and type in the chat. It could be all 4, but I'm just curious on where you guys' head is currently at right now. So we got, what are we doing? We got 1 and 3s. We got number 3. Okay, so you guys got some good strategy. We got some replacement income as well. Don't worry, Brad. We won't tell everyone that you want to replace your income and leave your job. I won't call your boss, I promise. We got Gail, who's looking for 1 and 2, number 2. I love it. Awesome. So, of course, if we're talking about who this is for, let me just be really clear. As one of our core values is clear, blunt, to the point. So I'll tell you who this is not for right now. Number 1, if you're not coachable, so I promise you, learning creative fancy deals is not osmosis. It's certainly going to take take over time. If you don't like to speak with people or help solve people problems, then you're not in the best space when it comes to real estate investing. You and I both know this. This is a people business. We just happen to work in real estate. You need cash flow, you need water, and the challenge with mismanaged expectations. We always tell everyone you got to dedicate the next 3 years to real estate investing. And I tell you, we interviewed Brian Tracy on our podcast, and he actually said it takes 7 years to master a business. So we certainly don't want to have that mismanaged expectation. So some promises that I'm going to do throughout today is, number 1, we're going to show you the 3 paydays, our trademark 3 payday system, and how you can actually use that on each deal. Some predictable and scalable business model, and then also some sample deals. So as I mentioned earlier, I went through a very specific journey, but this company was birthed based upon a challenge in which my partner and father-in-law, Chris, went through. In 2008, he got crushed. He had 23 condo conversions in Rhode Island going on, and they went down to a third in value. Now, I hope to God that's never going to happen again, but I promise you, if you're utilizing these types of strategies, you're never going to have to worry about personally guaranteeing debt no matter what the market does. So that's exactly the type of strategies we're using here today, because there was only really one option for my father-in-law to get back involved in real estate investing, and that was through these creative financing strategies that we're going to talk about here today. My brother-in-law, Nick, ended up joining him after being an agent for about 8 years, and then I already shared with you my brief story. But at the end of the day, the reason why I found real estate investing was because I was just looking to change my circumstances. So I understand how it feels to be frustrated and really trying to bridge that gap between creating a profitable real estate investment strategy and where you currently are today, because we see this consistently on a daily basis, where somebody like Claudia, who's invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in real estate programs, but had zero to show for it, we're able to help her get to $400,000 in revenue in a very short period of time by start working with us. Look, because there is a broken strategy. Now, I know that we have a lot of buy and hold people on here, wholesaling. I am not poo-pooing any of these strategies because we've done them all. But what I can tell you is that there are a lot of risks and challenges associated with those types of strategies, like personally signing on debt, like utilizing your own money for down payments, like needing to raise capital if you don't like to, like maintenance and repairs, hiring contractors, and getting transactional type income. Because if you're truly looking to go ahead and leave your W-2 job or to create really long-term wealth, it gets really hard when we're dealing with some of these challenges. So instead, we saw all these challenges and we actually wanted to solve them, especially in today's current market. The traditional market, the traditional way of buying real estate is certainly not able to solve a majority of the challenges right now. So really what we want to do is actually help buyers and sellers get what they want. I know that sounds absolutely crazy. I was speaking with an agent yesterday when I was trying to find, when I was looking at a property on seller financing, which is one of the strategies I was looking at. And he said, yeah, you know, my seller doesn't necessarily like to create win-win scenarios. He likes it when he wins. Well, that's really unfortunate because that's honestly what the traditional market tends to look like. Instead, we want to create win-win-wins for everybody involved, the buyer, the seller, and yourself. Because look, there's a huge portion of sellers out there that have challenges and either they just want to maximize their cash out or they actually have time in order to do so. And also there's a large portion of Americans out there that cannot qualify for bank loans. I can promise you that when we show you the exit strategy that we use to actually maximize profits for us and the investors across the country, nobody is doing it like we're currently doing it. And the reason why is because there is a massive hole when it comes to the traditional space, because there's a huge portion of unqualified people out there, meaning that they cannot qualify for a bank loan. So if you're looking for an underserved audience, I promise you today, we're going to share with you exactly how to go ahead and capture that. So when I go ahead and buy a property and go sell it through our strategy, I'm dealing with the 82%. Whereas if you're trying to sell it on the traditional market, you're dealing with the 18%. So it gives us a massive advantage here as well. So how do we then sell? We sell on rent to own. Now, rent to own simply is this. It is a program to help buyers get from being unbankable to bankable. Now, the thing that separates us from others is that we actually have a specific system that absolutely changes the success rate and puts it on its head, because we are seeing roughly 80% of all of our buyers actually qualify for bank loans at the end. And that's because we have that very specific system that helps them get there. Now, because we sell on rent to own, we're going to actually create 3 distinctive income streams from selling on rent to own. And let me break that down for you. So if you were interested in creating 3 income streams or 3 paydays on each one of your deals in an extreme risk averse method, this is what it's going to look like. So once you sell the property on rent to own, and we haven't even hit our acquisition strategies yet, stick with me. And we sell it on rent to own, we're going to get a large non-refundable deposit, typically anywhere from 3 to 10% of a elevated purchase price than the current retail market. Then we're also going to create monthly cash flow. So this is what everybody joins real estate investing for, is that passive income. This is the most passive you could possibly be, because we are passing along any and all responsibilities to this end buyer, because they are going to act like and be treated like a homeowner. So this is simply money coming in and then paying off the expenses, and now you create that monthly cash flow. And then payday 3 is there's going to be a time in the future where your buyer is going to qualify for that bank loan. And oh, guess what? You're going to have more money coming in equity at the end of that sale. So let me share with you some numbers here. Again, your full disclosure, your numbers could vary, but these are our family numbers and have been for many years. Our average non-refundable deposit is roughly $27,000. Our average monthly cash flow, our payday 2, is roughly $308 per house or per door each month. And our average payday 3, so when this property cashes out, is roughly $35,000. So on average, we're creating roughly $75,000 all 3 paydays with little to no money down, without using banks or without personally signing or guaranteeing debt. So if that's what a single deal looks like, let's take a step back and look at what a potential portfolio can look like if you're utilizing these strategies. So within 12 months, this was our actual portfolio. Within 12 months, we did 20 deals. all through utilizing these creative financing strategies, and we were able to generate roughly $600,000 in upfront non-refundable deposits, and some of them is overtime as well. We're able to create $6,500 in monthly cash flow, and we're able to generate $822,000 in future profits. So when somebody tells me they want replacement income, I say, okay, great. Let me share with you how you can actually pull profits forward today with a non-refundable deposit. Let me show you how you can replace that through monthly cash flow. Let me show you how you can actually step off the treadmill one day and be able to receive these large lump sums in the future on future profits that you've created today. So this is all predictable though, right? I know that you guys know this because you're hanging out with an amazing RIA that teaches you KPIs and creating predictability in your business, because that's all that is. So you just have to know your numbers. And if you don't know your numbers in your real estate investment, then borrow ours. And I'm going to share with you that here today. And then of course you set your goals, and then you simply back out of those numbers and then create a necessary daily plan. Now, the crazy thing is this is not rocket science. This is probably extremely redundant for a lot of you, but it's the simple things in life that sometimes we don't stick to. So let me walk you through this. So if your example is to create $250,000 in income, right, or revenue from these deals, and our average deal or payday one, I'm just going to focus on that. Our average non-refundable deposit, say, is $25,000. Then you need 10 deals this year of just non-refundable deposits. I don't want to even touch your passive income with your payday twos, and I certainly don't want to count on your payday threes because that's not going to come for the next 18 to 36 months. So then we need 10 deals, 40 leads per deal. That means we need 400 leads this year in order to do so. And then that means we got to put in roughly 9 to 10 leads per month or per week. And of course, I'll share with you either in the free tools or or working with us where we're going to find all of these leads in order to do so and what that effort is going to take. Now, you're probably wondering, like, how do I actually know that this thing can be extremely predictable? And that's because we have over 75 years of experience in not only creative financing real estate investing, but investing in real estate, period. Even our coaches who have been all homegrown have at least 4 years of creative financing real estate experience. So you're in absolutely good hands. So now let's talk about what actually buying on selling on terms is. So we talked about how we exit. Now let's start talking about how we're going to acquire. So it means no banks, no large down payments, especially in comparison to the traditional market, and no credit or signing personally. And there's 3 strategies that we use. We're going to use seller financing or owner financing. We'll use those interchangeably. We're going to use subject to deals, so buying a property subject to the existing loan. And then we're going to use lease purchases or lease options as well. So let's walk through each and every one of these strategies. So number one, if you're not familiar with seller financing, it's an amazing strategy. There's roughly 30 to 40% of all properties in North America are debt-free. Those are amazing groups of people. How do I know that? That's because if those sellers actually needed their money, then they would have refinanced their property and put debt against the house. Now, instead, these sellers are primed for being your bank. So what you do is you actually go close on the property, title transfers to you. You're then going to make monthly payments to that seller as if they were a bank. And yes, we get deals that are at 0% interest rates. Now, I'm going to share with you a deal here in just a second, but I can tell you if you can just nail down one seller financing deal a year with very little interest, you can create significant profits. We actually have a rule of thumb when it comes to our real estate deals, and that is if you can purchase a property for $199,000 or higher, if you can create a principal-only payment on that deal for $950 a month or higher, and if you get a 48-month balloon or longer, meaning you have to pay that off in 48 months, and you sell it on rent to own, you're going to have a 6-figure deal on your hands. So let's walk through this deal. So this deal was actually purchased. It was for $399. This was an expired listing. So somebody was on the market at one point in time, but then the property expired. We bought it for $399. We went ahead and sold it for $429. And we had a 48-month balloon. This seller lived in Indiana, and we bought this property in Connecticut. And he unfortunately had a challenge with his family. I believe his daughter passed away, and he never wanted to come back to this property. So we ended up selling it to a tenant buyer who was self-employed. He came to the table with $40,000 up front and then $40,000 over time. So that's our payday one was $80,000. We had a monthly payment of 17 or 1,200. We're collecting 1,750. So we have 550 in cash flow. So that's 26,000 a year, or over the course of 48 months in cash flow, 26,000. We increased our price. We bought it for $399. We sold it for, $399. We sold it for $429, so 30,000. We created $48,000 in principal paydown because the monthly payment of $1,200, 1,000 of that was going directly towards the principal balance. So when we actually cashed this thing out, we had about $109,000 in total profit because we also had a rental unit on that as well. Now, we helped out this particular student out of Fresno, California. If you look at this deal, it's actually a really good deal here because he bought it for $365. He had a 24-month lease on it, and he sold it for $399, creating roughly $68,000 on his first seller financing deal that we did with him out in California. So that's owner financing. The second strategy in which we use is called buying a property subject to the existing loan. Now, this is probably the most important strategy that you're using in today's current market. And that's because there is a huge amount of low interest rates. It's roughly 9 out of 10 properties in the United States have a 6% interest rate or less. And then 4 out of 5 homes actually have a 5% interest rate or less. So why is this relevant? This is relevant because if you were to go purchase a property traditionally, then you're going to need to have you're going to end up having roughly a 7 to 7.5 or high sixes interest rate right now. Well, the best way to combat that is buy properties subject to the existing loan. So that means when you close on it, the title transfers to your company, but the mortgage remains on the property. It's actually attached to the seller's credit. So now what you're doing is you're making payments on that seller's behalf. So now you have a property that has a low interest rate, which means you're actually going to be able to create cash flow on this or selling it via rent to own. That's why I said at the beginning of this is if you can add some of these acquisition strategies and you still want to do buy and hold and not utilize our exit strategy and into our 3 payday system, if you just learn these strategies for acquisition, like subject to and owner financing, you're going to increase the amount of deals that you're going to be able to do in your current business model that you're in. Let me show you a case study here. So this property was actually purchased from an ex-banker, expired listing. We bought it for the exact mortgage balance, which is $273. We ended up selling it for, there's an error there, but we ended up selling for $371. And we had a 10-year term on this. So we didn't have to cash out or pay off that seller for at least 10 years. Here's what we collected: $10,000 up front, $20,000 over time. We then were able to create $138 a month in cash flow. So nothing super crazy, but when you collect $30,000 up front, it starts to average out. We had a price premium of $80,000, so we bought it in the $273. We sold it for $371. So we were able to create a massive amount of equity by simply selling it to our rent-to-own buyers. Our principal paydown is roughly $16,000, so we had a $66,000 cash out. So that's $101,000 that we did over roughly 48 months or roughly 30 months on this particular property. Now, I wanted to share this with you. This is just the HUD statement, just so you can see how the whole thing came together. If you look in the bottom left-hand corner, we actually ended up making more than the projected amount, which I shared with you, which is $77,000 on the back end. Now, this is another HUD that we put together as well. This was a deal that we ended up doing. People always ask me, like, what happens when a buyer defaults? Well, unfortunately, this was one of those circumstances where a tenant buyer came in. We started working through the rent-to-own program, and then they defaulted. So instead, what we did is we went out and sold it on the traditional market. So I saw some realtors in the room. This is another opportunity for you to create another income stream when it comes to your current business. So you bought the property, you sold on rent-to-own, the buyer defaults. Now, what are you going to do? You can now go list this property because you own it and sell it traditionally. And that's what we did. Which we ended up selling and making roughly $51,000 at closing in addition to what we created over time. Now, I also saw some wholesalers in the room as well, and you may have better results than our friend Sergio here before he found us, but he was making roughly $4,000 on each wholesale deal. We brought him in and helped him structure a 3 payday system on his deals, and now he's averaging roughly 50,000, and that is up in the Space Coast of Florida. So some really cool opportunities there. The last strategy that we use in order to acquire real estate is more about controlling an asset. So if you can't buy it on owner financing and you can't buy it subject to the existing loan, well, now let's make sure that you still get paid on this strategy and acquire a piece of real estate by utilizing a lease purchase, or you're buying it on rent to own and selling it on rent to own. So this is when you actually acquire the property through a lease purchase agreement. But instead of the title transferring, we actually just control it and we file a notice of option or memorandum of real estate to cloud the title. All that really means is that this seller cannot go sell to their uncle or their aunt while you have control of the property. Now, you just make payments on the seller's behalf. You make the mortgage payment on the seller's behalf if there is one, and the seller still remains the owner of this property. So you're just controlling it. So here's what this tends to look like. This is also known as a sandwich lease. If you've ever heard some of these strategies before, which means you buy it on a lease purchase, you're in the middle, and then you sell it on a lease purchase as well. So this is a deal we did with one of our community members. This is an expired listing. Again, we bought it for 201 was the equity and the debt was 292. Here's the importance of this, because I know there's a lot of amazing seasoned investors in this room. When you typically, if you don't own the property, you don't get the benefit of principal pay down. We would all agree there. But if you're utilizing our agreements and you are locking in the seller's equity today versus a purchase price, you now, although don't have ownership, get the benefits of principal pay down. Because what's going to happen? Over the course of the lease purchase agreement, you're going to be making payments on the seller's behalf to the mortgage. That mortgage balance is going to go down because there's a certain amount of principal that comes off. You're now increasing your equity position in there because you've locked in the sellers. So here's what this looked like. We created a non-refundable deposit from our buyer, which was $36,000 up front plus $19,000 over time. So it's $55,000. So this is how you pull profits forward. Instead of waiting for the equity to come in the future when you sell it, we're going to take some equity off the table here today. As Warren Buffett always says, the best investment is that with the highest upside and the lowest downside. When you're using creative financing, you are able to limit your downside because you're not personally guaranteeing debt, putting tons of money down, and going to get a bank loan and being the collateral. Instead, you're controlling the asset, and now you're going to go sell it on an upside because you're actually pulling money forward here now as well. Now let's look at the cash flow on this. Is about $235 a month, so it's $8,400 over time. The principal pay down this was $853 on this, so we created $30,000 over 36 months in principal pay down. We have $41,000 on the back end of equity. So you keep seeing these 6-figure returns on these deals, which is very common, anywhere between 50 to 250,000. We actually just recently did a deal that I'm going to share with you at the end on a commercial business that was $350,000 in accumulated revenue as well. So these things, these types of strategies are going to create a massive amount of income if you're doing it correctly. Now let's look at one more deal here when it comes to a lease purchase. So this is actually a realtor referral. So I was mentioning earlier, if you're an agent, you have so many opportunities. Or if you're just actively in real estate, you have even more opportunities because there are deals that do not fit in your current real estate buy box that you are throwing away. Instead, I know that these deals that are very low in equity to having really giant amounts of equity in them where the seller just won't take your original offer, they fit in this creative financing space. So just imagine if you're able to create at least one additional deal per year, how drastic that could change your real estate portfolio over the next 3 to 5 to 10 years. So this is a realtor referral. We bought the property for roughly $283 on a 36-month lease purchase, and we sold it for $329. Here's what this panned out. Roughly $24,000 down. We had $527 in cash flow on the property. So it's roughly $18,000 over the course of 36 months. We had $38,000 on the back end, which because we raised the property $46,000. We had $15,000 in principal pay down, and then we already collected $24,000. So we have to take that off the table. That is credited towards the purchase price. So when the buyer goes and qualifies for their loan, they actually only have to qualify for whatever the $329 minus the $24,000. So we created roughly $81,000 on this deal that we did not even own. Now, it's important to know that the other two strategies we use, you have ownership. And this one, you do not. You're just controlling it, which means you're going to get hit in different tax brackets. That's another actual gentleman that just utilized our course. I was able to generate a $20,000 down payment on a lease purchase deal, and all he utilized was our course. So if these strategies are so viable, right, as you as the investor and solve so many problems, why do sellers actually sell to us? Let me just give you a couple different reasons, but we actually had an amazing student of ours out of Chicago, Illinois, that did well over $1 million in revenue with this strategy in a relatively short period of time. And he always used to say, there are more reasons why a seller would not, or what reason why a seller would do these strategies than would not. So let's walk through it. So one would be to maximize their profit. Next one would be to create monthly cash flow. We have so many tired landlords out there that don't want to be landlords anymore. So now we share with you how to actually help them become the bank. And now you're the one that's actually managing the property. Estate or tax planning purposes. I'm going to show you a deal here in just a minute where the seller literally wanted seller financing for estate and tax planning purposes because he wanted to spread out his capital gains over time. And he also wanted to have his trust receive monthly income without having to manage a commercial building. And of course, other personal reasons. You have death, divorce, relocation. These things happen in any single market. Doesn't matter if it's hot, flat, sideways. Doesn't matter if you're in Florida, Utah, Massachusetts, Southern California. People are still always having these challenges. So where do we find these? A couple places that we find them are expired listings. You have for sale by owners. You have niche lists where one that I like a lot right now is low equity active listings and working directly with agents. Of course, referrals, wholesalers, fix and flippers. And that's just a handful of different places to find these sellers. And each and every one of you probably even knows even more places, like coming to this RIA and linking up with other investors when it comes to not their buy box. Some buyer benefits here: enjoying the home during the lease period. I got to do that. They have time to qualify for a mortgage or save more. Credit needs to be rebuilt or enhanced. Locks in their price today, so now they get the ability to get appreciation in the property. And of course, we can also seller finance it as well with some of these as well. So some of these buyers, which is a huge pool of people, are people that are self-employed or had a legitimate hiccup in their credit or had a job change or are sideline buyers where they never ever want to go get a bank loan. And I didn't even list here. Let's think about all of the buyers that could qualify for loans traditionally 2 or 3 years ago at 2% or 3% or 4% or 5% or 6% and can no longer qualify for the current loan rates right now. Right now, I am selling rent-to-own properties on a monthly payment, a monthly lease payment for lower than if somebody were to be able to go qualify for a bank loan today at that purchase price. So there's so many buyers out there that just cannot qualify for that DTR, and they're fitting perfectly into our program so that we can help them save more and bridge the gap between where they currently are and where they want to be. Now, we find these buyers in a couple different places: online marketing. We're on every single major website, local signs. One of the first deals we ever did was because a buyer drove by a sign of ours. It was with an agent for months. That buyer never called on the property with the agent because he knew he couldn't qualify for a bank loan. We put a rent-to-own sign in the yard. Within 2 weeks, we had a $20,000 check in our hand. He was a mason. He was self-employed, and he just needed time in order to qualify for a loan. And then, of course, referrals as well. I wanted to go over just a couple different asset classes here as well, just in case you decided that you want to get involved in multifamilies. Can you buy multifamilies through creative financing? Well, absolutely you can. If anything, I think you should be doing more of it because in the commercial real estate space, now I know I'm going to show you a 4-unit building, so it's right on the cusp of commercial. But if you're interested in creating more long-term, this is a nice opportunity for you. Because of course, we're not selling these on rent to own. We are buying these, managing them, improving them, and increasing the net operating income so that way you can sell this property for a higher price or refinance it if you choose to do so. So this deal, 4-unit building, was a for sale by owner. We bought it for $259, $1,000 principal only payment. We had $735 in net operating income after management and laundry. Exit strategy, 48-month debt pay down. So $1,000 a month paying down the loan. Market appreciation, and then, of course, increasing NOI as well. Here's what they end up looking like. We bought it for $259,900. We paid down $49,000 in principal. We sold it for $279,900. We had $735,000 in cash flow over the 48 months. So that's $35,000. So our total revenue on this deal was about $104,000. Now that was IRA invested and IRA owned. I'm not sponsored by Cayman Plan, but I encourage you to go utilize somebody like them in order to structure some of these deals. Now, maybe multifamily is not what you're looking for. Maybe it's commercial real estate. We're a creative financing business company, right? We have our own creative financing real estate investment company, and we also have this amazing community that we've created. So we couldn't go get a normal bank loan for our offices. That would have been absolutely crazy. So instead, we were doing very specific mailings to commercial buildings in the area in which we lived. Eventually, we ended up all going remote and decided to sell the building. Now, here's what this looked like. We bought this property for $550,000 and we put down about $35,000 as down payment. Now, this $515,000 was then amortized at a 30-year amortization with a 20-year balloon at 5.21%. So even back in November of 2018, that was a really good interest rate and a very little down payment on a commercial building. We, of course, improved the building. We had tenants be paying for the mortgage payment, and then we housed our entire company. We did live events there, boot camps, things of that sort, and housed our entire team. Now we ended up COVID hit, and we ended up selling it for $1.28 million. About 5 years later, and I know I'm looking over the right because there's a bigger screen. 5 years later. So if you look at $753,000 in net there, and then if we minus all of our expenses, we net somewhere around $650,000 on this particular property. So if you're looking at all of these different strategies, whether it's residential, whether it's multifamily, whether it's commercial, these strategies, these acquisition strategies work throughout. So I know at the very beginning, we looked at every single person from, did you just get started? If you're just getting started, it's absolutely amazing. You'd be like me with zero real estate experience and just looking for a new way of creating a better lifestyle for myself. Or if you're currently involved in other real estate strategies, let's find ways in order to increase the amount of deals that you have without increasing your marketing budget or increasing the amount of returns on your deals on any of these types of strategies by showing you new exit strategies as well. So, of course, we have an amazing solution for you and something that we're doing very specifically for this summer. So we created our 3 Paydays apprentice program. Now, we had a whole bunch of amazing things that we currently do on a daily basis with our community. And what we realized was that there are so many programs out there right now that are absolutely creating these massive entries. And for this summer, we wanted to get as many people around and in our community as possible because we knew that with current interest rates, with all the current traditional real estate challenges, with so many people behind on credit cards and behind on monthly payments, that the more creative financing investors we had out in the field, the better, because we could solve so many people's challenges. So here's what we're going to include in a 3 Paydays Apprentice program. And we have absolutely stacked this thing for you, because we know the more we can spend time with you, because we have done hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of these deals, the faster you're going to be able to get after it on these real estate deals. So number one, we're going to give you access to our Quantum Leap system, which is our home study course, which includes many things. And I'll show you just a quick video on that so you can see it.
Hi, it's Chris Prefontaine, and I want to thank you for your interest in the Quantum Leap system, or QLS, as you'll hear us refer to many times. Commit to doing whatever it takes for however long it takes to create a monster lifestyle, whatever that is for you. And I'm not talking just financially, but a lifestyle you want and deserve and wish to design. I look forward to working together.
Like, this course is the only full, complete creative financing course out there. Like, you'll see people present, hey, I'll show you how to do subject to deals. Here's the course. I'll show you how to go out there and do owner financing, and here's a course. Or I'll show you how to do lease options, and here's a course. Or let me show you how to do buy and hold or rent to own, and here's a course. Look, we're not marketers. We are real estate investors through and through. So we just put it all into one specific system, because I want you to be able to do any type of real estate transaction there is. So in Mod 1, we'll actually show you how to start and implement the system. In Mod 2, we create those trackable and predictable systems so you can go out there and create the business model that you want and to reach your real estate goals. All the lead generation tools that you need, so that way you can consistently be speaking to sellers who want to do these types of transactions with you. All of the scripts, so that way you're never going to have to worry about any type of rebuttal ever when it comes to your creative financing strategies. We didn't talk about this, but we also assign out deals, which basically means we create a lease purchase agreement that we assign to the seller for a quick fee. And then we work through in-depth owner financing, step by step by step, so that way you can go out there and get little to small interest rates with the seller being your bank. And then, of course, be able to control these assets on lease purchases, because those sometimes are the easiest ways to get involved in the strategy. How to structure those subject to deals. This is one module where I'm telling you, being able to get access to real estate deals that have very low interest rates and that already have somebody's credit on this. You're never going to have to worry about an exit. This is the strategy you're going to be looking at. And then how to actually launch these properties and then sell them directly on rent to own as well. And then becoming a transaction engineer, so you know exactly when to use each strategy. And if you just did this just for all of the contracts, you would have already won, because we have spent well over $20,000+ over the past 10 years on these contracts. So it's the contracts, it's the list, checklist, you name it, they're all in there. And of course, you're going to get certified with creative financing. And I have had so many community members get deals over their competition because of this certification. By going through this course, you're going to get access to that. We have our event in September in Boston, where we only talk about creative financing deals up there. So if you want to be surrounded by people that are actually doing this consistently, we're controlling, I'm telling you, millions upon millions of dollars in that room when it comes to these creative financing deals. You'll get access to a ticket for the Boston event. Every single Thursday, we have our live Wicked Smart sit down that you're going to get access to as well, so you can directly interact with us on a consistent basis. We're even going to have group coaching available for you every single week for 12 weeks. You get access to 5 calls with these with our coaches, with myself personally, with my business partner personally, so we can start moving your deals forward when it comes to creative financing deals. 5 specific calls day in and day out. You get access to our Wicked Smart community, which comes in our associate community and in Slack. where you get to interact with people that have invested $30,000 to $100,000 to be a part of this particular community. Get our weekly office hours as part of that call. You get access to our associate mastermind, which is part of that. All of this, plus you're going to be able to spend 2.5 days with us up in Newport, Rhode Island, where it's completely immersive, one-on-one coaching. We're literally making calls to your sellers and showing you how to be able to build this business in person, completely hands-on, and we can gain the confidence. We charge $2,500 for anybody to be able to attend that event. Let me just show you with a quick video.
One of my biggest takeaways was the amount of help that I got with the leads this week. I've got 5 appointments going home, and it's been phenomenal. I jumped to high 6 because they're going to help me get stuff done.
The coaching, the guidance, the insights, it's been very exciting and very motivating. So glad I came.
This is one of the best experiences I have. If you're looking to get involved with a community who genuinely cares and can get you from A to Z to get to your end goal of where you want to be, you have to check this out.
One of my biggest takeaways was Nick helping me on the buyer meeting that I had with my buyer and kind of going detail step by step through the process.
Each and every one of those people that you heard from were a part of our associate community. They've invested anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000 to be a part of that. So we're going to give you access to every single thing that I just shared with you. So that's over $16,000 worth of value. And you're going to be able to get it for $1,000 or 2 payments of $600 with, of course, a 30-day money back guarantee. So you could come join our community, get access to our course. And if you say this isn't for me, you get your money back completely, right? Because if this only did one thing, which taught you how to buy your own house, which certainly was absolute game changer for me, or if it helped you do one additional deal a year through a 3 payday system, or helped you do a deal a month, which would drastically change most people's portfolios, it would be an absolute worth it, because now you have the skill set of a lifetime. So we all know the train is leaving with today's current market. Interest rates are so set right now, perfect for our community members. All you got to do is go to smartrealestatecoach.com/BPM to get access to the free toolkit, or you can go directly to smartrealestatecoach.com and go to smartrealestatecoach.com/BPM. All you have to do is just fill out a quick application. It's going to take you literally 3 minutes to fill out the application, and our team will call you first thing tomorrow, ensure that you're a great fit for the community, and then we'll go ahead and get to the invoice to get you moving forward. So that way we can launch you and start moving you forward. So you get access to the courses, the weekly calls, the boot camp, our live event, open office hours, our community. Absolutely everything is involved for simply $1,000. I don't know where else you're going to find that. We're going to do that for a limited time for your group. We'll make sure that you have the ability to fill out the application, speak with our team. We're going to do it before Friday. We'll keep it open for you guys. And that way, there's a select group of you in the room that are going to want to hit the ground running. We certainly want to help you do so. If you're still teeter on the fence, you're like, hey, I just want some free information, go ahead and grab the toolkit, which is on the exact same link there as well. smartrealestatecoach.com/BPM. Now, I know it's a big decision, so I'll stick around here and answer any questions that you guys have.
Guys, this is the time. Get those questions in the Q&A box. Everybody loves to wait until 8:25 to put the question.
Told you guys I was going to talk fast. We only had 8 o'clock.
You guys, this is the time to ask your question. So just a reminder, you guys look at the screen, take a picture, take a screenshot, whatever you need. Go to the chat box, click the link in the chat. I have the free gift in the chat for you guys. I also have the link to put the to do the application. Takes literally 2 seconds. I did it myself. So go click the application link in the chat. The offer for only $1,000 is only valid until Friday at midnight. So go click the link in the chat. You guys, questions, Q&A. I know I have a winner, but you guys, this is your time. You have to ask the questions if you want to get your answers. So, all right, guys, Any
Yeah, Larry asks, is this
questions?
program only good for Florida? No, we're in 80 plus markets. This program works. We've done many deals in Florida. We even have a really good attorney down in Florida that's going to be speaking at our event in Boston as a part of our attorney panel. And he's out of Florida. I think Florida is an amazing market to go out there and get these real estate deals done.
Absolutely. I agree. You guys know this. I have people doing subject to deals from all over the state of Florida all the time. So you guys, okay. Thank you for the comment, Daniel. Appreciate that. Any other questions, you guys? This is the time. This is your time. Don't waste it. We only have Zach tonight. He's not coming back tomorrow. So you guys, you're gonna have to wait quite some time to have Zach back on your live in person. Not really in person. This is as in person as we're gonna get right now, you guys. We're not gonna have him back in person for a while. So please go ahead and put your questions in. Any questions? You guys are being really quiet. So I'm just gonna say that this is a foreign language to everyone in here, and that's okay. You know,
For sure.
that's why Zach's here.
Took me 6 months to do my first deal. So I totally get it. And that's why I said it's not osmosis. The intention was not to teach you every single thing about creative financing here tonight. My hope was that I change your perspective on that real estate can be done in a different direction and create more profits. So that's why now it's up to you to take action to say, all right, well, if this is something I see myself, is to go one way or the other. I actually want some free stuff or to dive a little bit further, or let's hit the ground running.
Absolutely, you guys. I know this is our members have been asking for creative. They've been asking for subject to. I know that you guys are interested, but maybe you are just not ready.
Okay.
I promise you, this is going to be the best way to get in. You're going to want somebody on your side. You're going to want direction. You're going to want coaching, and Zach provides all those things. So highly recommend filling that out.
Yeah, for sure. I'll mention on Tuesday nights as part of this, you can submit your deals, and we'll go ahead and we'll make direct calls to your sellers, which is always really fun that day. And we also do them on Thursdays as well. So you'll have direct access to myself or the coaches to actually help you move deals forward, which can be a lot of fun.
Perfect. You guys, I know. Thank you, Allison. I know it's a lot to take in. It's definitely not like beginner, but again, the way Zach breaks it down, you can do it. If you, the way he breaks it down is so good, you guys. So, okay, you guys, any questions? I don't see anything in the Q&A.
Feel free, if you guys end up having questions, you can always direct them to support at Smart Real Estate Coach. We're always happy to answer any questions you have. Feel free to follow us on social as well, at Smart Real Estate Coach or at Zachary Beach Official. We'll happy to interact with you guys there and see how we can continue to support you on your journey.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Zach. I'm going to go ahead and put that info in the chat one more time for you guys. And please, I did record tonight's session, so feel free to watch the recording. I'm going to have it posted to the YouTube channel as soon as possible. I know this was a lot to take in at one time, so you guys can feel free to watch the replay. I'm going to put his information in the chat. I'll put this YouTube channel link in the chat. You guys look out for my thank you email that I'll send each and every one of you after we hop off of here. What happens?
Yeah, Gail asked. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, what happens if a bank finds out and has a due on sales clause? So there's a lot of things in which you want to do in preparation for that, right? Because most bank loans are going to have a due on sales clause. Now, there's a lot of things in which you do in order to prevent it to the best of your abilities, which could be, and without getting extremely detailed, there is something that is known as the Garn-St. Germain Act of 1982, which allows you to transfer ownership of a property to a trust for estate or tax planning purposes. So majority of the time we are buying real estate in a trust. Actually, the gentleman that I just mentioned, the attorney out of Florida, did an entire presentation at our community because he was able to beat a due on sales clause based on the trust, because he stated that, look, this is the trust, here's the beneficiary, here's how this works. So he was actually able to beat that. Now, Can it happen? It certainly can happen. I don't want you to ever say that a due on sales clause is not going to happen because Zach said so. No, it's possible. But there's also a lot of things to protect yourself. If you're utilizing, you can utilize subject to insurance right now. NERI or NREIG is a company that we use. They're one of the largest non-owner occupied insurance companies out there. And they'll actually have, for 1%, they'll do due on sales clause insurance. But the reality is it's very rare that it actually happens because most banks do not want to deal with any type of foreclosure. And a lot of the deals in which we're buying, we're actually catching up the seller or we're keeping the property current, which would actually improve the seller's credit and improve the bank's position. So it's very unlikely that these things would happen. But fantastic question. The most common question I get asked. So completely normal.
All right, here they come. Here are the
That's
questions.
good. No, that's why I'm here.
Perfect.
How do you find, all right, let's make sure. Okay. How do you find buyers for the property? So we're on every major platform that you can imagine. So if you're going to go list a property today for rent or for sale, you're probably on like all the things, Zillow, Rent Links, you name it. It's like 50 something websites. We're in all the exact same places, just we have different messaging, right? So I'll be in the rent section that will say, for a deserving buyer with a sizable down payment, willing to rent to own this property, then they'll come in and then we'll walk them through our vetting process. We also have signs, referrals, right? You can go to mortgage lenders, which are probably in this group, or realtors, and you say, hey, if you come across any buyers that can't qualify for a loan today, send them my way in case I have a property that we're selling on rent to own. So doesn't have to be complex, but 100%. Can the seller change their mind and want the property back? No, if you're closing on the property, subject to the existing loan or owner financing, you hold title. They don't have ownership anymore. The only thing that connects the seller in owner financing, let's say, is they're the bank holder. They're the lien holder, right? So you're making payments to them. If it's subject to, then they're only attached to the mortgage, which means that you're just making payments on their behalf. If it's a lease purchase, the title is still in their name, and that's why you file a notice of option or a memorandum of real estate, because now you place a lien on the property, so that way you're protected in this position. So the seller can't, quote unquote, change their mind. They have signed it. That's also why we do everything with attorneys when it comes to closing. All fantastic questions. Again, I can tell you're detail orientated. That's good. We actually have a lot of successful people in our community that are attorneys, that are engineers. We call it engineer brain. Totally get it. As soon as you get it, though, you're going to be flying because you'll be detail oriented.
So good. And Lester, down here we use the FAR bar as is contract. So
yeah, the intention, Lester, especially because you guys are surrounded by some amazing people, is when you approach an attorney, right? It's, hey, this is the structure in which we're doing. Here's the contracts in which the community that I worked with are using. And like I said, I can connect you with a gentleman. His name's Charles Castellone. I'm giving him some free press right now because he helped us actually close a subject to deal recently in Cape Coral, Florida. And the sellers were starting to get cold feet because they weren't sure, because they were relocating out of the state. And he actually spoke to him live and said, here's how it works. Here's the legalities around it. Here's how everything is. It helped us close that deal. So with a great attorney, you'll certainly be able to get it done. No, I know I was kind of going around on that, but you get the attorney, you tell him what you're trying to accomplish, and then you can share with him our current contract so that way they don't recreate the wheel. And then, can put together the agreement needed for Florida.
So true. So true. All right, guys. I see a question over here for you, Zach. In the program, are the live events recorded, and would the students have access to those if they can't attend it live?
Good question. The In the Trenches boot camps are not recorded. A lot of personal things happen because we only allow 20 people at a time to come up. That's why we see such a drastic impact when people leave, because we can get really personal. Our larger events, like in September, we usually host one a year. We do record those, and you should be able to get access to them. We put them into our academy for you to review.
Awesome. And then on a side note, Zach, send me whenever you can, if you could send me that attorney. It looks like some of the members might be interested, and maybe I'll have to get in touch with him.
If you can remind me, it's just Charles Castellone, and I believe he is
perfect.
up. Charles Castellone, I believe he's up near the Space Coast area because he's the one that one of our community members introduced us to him.
Beautiful.
That's I mean, as you guys know, you're a part of this RIA. That's the beauty of being a part of a community, as you pass resources to each other. So now every single community member comes into Florida, I just direct them to him
Absolutely.
for that. Sure.
So good. I know the answer to Ramon's question, but I don't know if you want to answer that yourself.
Let me see. What's Ramon? How do you not personally guarantee the debt? Who is responsible for the debt? It's your LLC, right? Let me backtrack it a little bit. If you are buying a property subject to the existing loan, you're not personally guaranteeing the debt. The seller is personally guaranteeing the debt. You are covering the monthly payment for the seller. You're covering the debt for them on their behalf. If you're structuring a seller financing deal, your LLC is contractually responsible for the loan against the property to the seller. And if you're actually utilizing our contracts, the only thing that we're liable for is every payment that we've made to the seller. It's not like the remaining balance. We're technically only responsible for all those payments that we've made. So if there ever was anything to go sideways, then it would, then certainly, we would be able to walk. I've never done that in the hundreds upon hundreds of deals we've done, but I just want you guys to know you're protected. For sure, there's a lot of trust involved, right? That's why, and that's a great point. That's why this is why I said at the beginning, this isn't a real estate is not a real estate business. It's a people business. And you're solving people's problems, whether that be financial or whether that be, we call them like financial challenges or real estate challenges, right? So you have like the financial challenges, which are I'm behind on payments, or I can't keep up my mortgage payments, or I don't have any equity and I'm trying to exit out of this, right? That's a financial challenge. Then you have the real estate challenges. Hey, I just inherited this property. I'm paying taxes. I don't want to take care of it anymore. I have a secondary house, and I don't want to manage this property long distance anymore. Or like I'm a tired landlord. That's where you step in with a different solution, and then now you provide that real estate solution. So this is all about people. I was literally, before I hopped on here, I was speaking with the seller about doing a subject to deal. And he was like, so basically I have to trust you. And I said, that's exactly it. You have to be, if this is going to keep you up at night, then I wouldn't do the deal, because yes, you're going to absolutely have to trust that I'm going to be able to maintain your property, maintain the mortgage, all of that on your behalf. So that way I can help you to your goal. And I wouldn't be on this conversation if I wasn't, because this is what I do for a living. I'm a real estate investor, so I need to perform in order for me to make money.
So good. So true. You guys, great questions. Patrice.
For sure you can create deals utilizing a self-directed IRA. I am not an IRA specialist. I know that you guys have sponsors that are IRA specialists, so they can certainly show you how to do those deals. But once you get, this is something we talk about in our community, it's advanced, right? Once you get enough income coming in from your real estate that you don't need access to, right? Then you start utilizing like a self-directed IRA, because now you're creating long-term wealth.
Awesome. And I think I missed this in here, Lester. It is 12 weeks, right? It's a total of 12 weeks.
Yep, 12 weeks of 5 days a week coaching, or 5 time slots a week coaching, plus in our Slack community during that time frame as well. Certainly an entry place, right? So if you say, I want to dive fully into creative financing, then I can share with you on another call how to work with us long term, where we work with you anywhere from 18 to 36 months to build out and scale your business. We can certainly move forward on that as well. But this is a taste.
Is the boot camp one day?
The boot camp is 2.5 days.
2.5 days. Okay.
Yeah, you fly up to Newport, Rhode Island. We're gonna come up to Newport, Rhode Island, we have one in July and one in August that we have right now. We have a couple slots left. If there is any time to be in Newport, Rhode Island, it's during the summer. It's absolutely amazing. You have all the giant yachts, all of that. A lot of people come from Fort Lauderdale to Newport. Amazing place to be. Day one, we spend making live calls to your sellers. As you saw on that call, like we're creating deals in like at the office with you. Then day two, we're going over all deal structures from a lot of the things we created day one. And then day three is all about creating a very specific KPI-based game plan for you in order to reach your goals. So you can go out there and attack it.
Oh, that sounds like a proper boot camp. That is
For
awesome.
sure.
So good. And Elena, we did answer this question, I believe, already, if I'm not mistaken. So watch the replay for sure. And just
Also in Mod
apply.
9. Mod 9, just keep going through Mod 9, and it's a very, very specific process in which we go through consistently to find them.
Perfect. You guys apply using the link. I'll send every single one of you a follow-up email as soon as we head off. I do have a winner for the 1-year membership. It is such a coincidence. I was on the phone with him earlier today. So drum roll. Congratulations, Lester N. You won the free 1-year membership to BPM Maria. Thank you everybody for playing the raffle, and good luck. Hopefully you win in the future. So I'll get in touch with you, Lester, and thank you guys all for joining us tonight, for, you know, asking the questions finally. Thank you guys. I know everybody loves to save those questions for the very last second. I love it. As long as you guys are with us is all that matters. So thank you guys so much again. Congrats, Lester. We'll be in touch. And you guys, as Zach mentioned, Camaplan, self-directed IRA, it is a national RIA benefit for you members. So you guys can go in the member portal, all my members, you can go in there and access your member benefit for Camaplan at any point. Everyone else who's maybe not a member, but not sure, whatever, you can definitely find Camaplan's information on the website as well. You know, Zach, you're going to want Zach because he's going to be able to teach you how to use all these things in the right way and make sure you guys aren't wasting time. As we know, Zach said it could take, now they're saying 7 years. I thought it was 5 years to have your business locked in, ready to go. But now they're saying 7. You guys know, with a mentor, with a coach, it's going to cut down even more, as much as it can possibly cut down. You guys are going to save your time, save your energy. So hopefully you guys all applied already. If not, I'll send you guys that link in an email in just a moment. I'll have this replay posted. Give me until tomorrow night. So look out for the replay. Give me about 24 to 48 hours. I'll get that posted for you guys. And Zach, it was so fun. I know we just admire your knowledge, okay? Like we're super grateful to have you like teach us all these awesome strategies.
Thanks for having me.
We're ready.
Appreciate it very much.
Yeah, we're ready for more. We're gonna apply. I already applied. Hopefully you guys all applied, and we'll see you next year. Ew.
Sure.
So long, but it's okay. It'll fly by. You guys, the time is flying. So take action now. And look for my thank you email that I'm sending every one of you, and as soon as we get off this call. So thank you guys so
each and every one
much.
of you.
Have a
Alexa,
great
thank you very much. Have a
night.
great night.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.